Hey guys, welcome back to Ivy Crypto. Hope you're all having a fantastic day. Today I wanted to talk about another Cardano project called Cardax, and it is the first DEX on Cardano. Now, I've had a Cardano focused on the channel for the last couple of days, and I will be continuing that, especially leading up to smart contracts on September 12th. Now, I want to talk about this one because I am going to do feature videos on most of the big projects launching on Cardano. But there's a couple of really interesting things with this one that I wanted to talk about. Specifically, they have a public sale coming up in this coming week, depending on when you're watching this. But today it is September 5th. So in this coming week, they will start their public sale, which I'll talk a lot more about later in the video. Now, guys, as always, this is not financial advice and I am not a financial advisor. I'm just hoping to find the next 50 to 100x token. And could this be the one? Well, it very well could be. So let's get right into it. Let's go all the way back. So back in July, they announced Cardax Dex raises 1.5 million to bring decentralized exchange to Cardano. Now guys, a lot has changed since July, but I wanted to point this out because I do think that it's really interesting how much they raised in their seed round. So $1.5 million, the trading platform earned the funds during a first community token sale and will use the funding to support the startup's goal of creating the platform, which will be launched in September 2021. Now that has since changed and we'll talk a little bit about that later in the video. But really, really interesting, okay, that they raised $1.5 million. So bear that in mind in terms of things that are relevant later. Now, something else with this one. If you Google Cardano Dex, if you're a newbie or if you're looking at, maybe investing in some Cardano projects, they are the first one that comes up. And that is not just because I've searched them recently. I can assure you I have tested it on my phone as well. Now, I know for a fact that the devs have been working on their search engine optimization as they think more and more about marketing as the project draws nearer to its release. And I know that I said this about Wi-Fi as well. I feel like because SundaySwap has done such a massive marketing campaign and seems to have a lot of this attention, shall we say, some of these other projects that potentially have better technology or more potential aren't getting as much attention. So I think it's really interesting that when you Google Cardano Dex, they're the first one that comes up because I think this will get them attention. All right, so let's move into it. Let's talk about, the usual stuff. What is it? What are the features? Let's look at, all that. So first of all, it's obviously a DEX that will be launching on Cardano. Now, it's got a couple of things that I'll talk about in the white paper. Crypto swaps, they make it possible to swap any Cardano native token. But let's talk about the team because this is really important when you want to invest in a project. So Ryan, who's the founder and CEO, he's been involved in Cardano since 2017 and actually hosts the Cardano podcast. He's got 15 years experience in digital marketing. He's worked for companies in the payment, internet software, business intelligence, and financial research fields. So some pretty solid experience here from Ryan, and definitely you can do some research on this guy. Now, Matthias, and I apologize if I'm saying that wrong, he's one of the blockchain software developers, and he's actually successfully completed the Plutus Pioneers program. So in terms of having some faith in this person's abilities, I think that's a little bit reassuring right there. And then you've got a couple of back-end developers, blockchain developers, front-end developers, all that sort of stuff. They've just announced their partnership and business development manager. So the team seems quite small, but I do like that most of this team is quite experienced, especially on the blockchain side of things and on the IT side of things. And that's what you want to see with these sorts of projects. And I think Cardax is, I guess, trying to establish itself as probably one of the projects with a really, really solid tech. I know all of them have really solid tech, but that's the vibe that I'm getting from these guys. So let's dive into this white paper. Now, their white paper is 13 pages long, so nothing too crazy, definitely an easy read, which I appreciate. And it obviously, spells it out. Cardax, a decentralized exchange powered by the EAMM protocol that aims to provide liquidity to projects that issue native tokens on Cardano. All right. So it goes a little bit into the abstract of it and then, the stuff that we want to know. Okay. So the intro Here it said Cardano does not yet have a DEX, which means tokens built on the Cardano network don't have a native exchange list. This will soon no longer be the case, as Cardax will be the native exchange that Cardano needs to provide liquidity to projects that create native assets. So again, guys, this was written back in April, so a lot of things have changed since then, but they still are and claim to be the original. So I do find that quite interesting. So it goes into a little bit of that, and then it talks about the difference in order book versus automated market maker. So something that I'm definitely interested in. Now, one of the comments that I will make about their white paper is it's very wordy, and I don't say that in a bad way. I just think that if I'm a newbie crypto investor and I want to read this, it's not necessarily well sectioned out compared to some other white papers that I've read. So that's just my personal opinion, guys. I don't know what your opinion is on this. And whilst I'm not going to read all of this, guys, here it goes into the difference in order book versus an AMM, and it talks about that Uniswap uses AMM and why they do that, and obviously because a lot of these pools don't have enough collateral to provide liquidity and to provide low slippage and all that sort of stuff. So definitely read that part of the white paper, but it's more relevant to the next bit that we are getting to. So getting the best of the two worlds. The order book model works best with high liquid trading pairs, while the AMM model works better for illiquid pairs as long as there is enough liquidity around a price to fill a large market order. They propose a system that gets the best of both worlds, namely one that allows anyone to become a market maker by either starting a liquidity pool or participating in an existing one. 2, minimizes slippage. 3, minimizes the risk of impermanent loss. 4, provides more price transparency, and 5, allows token issuers to create a new pair without the need for a big amount of capital to serve collateral. Now, this is very similar to what I was talking about in my Sunday Swap video. Now, Sunday Swap doesn't, I guess, say it like this, but one of the things I talked about, Sunday Swap talked about, the dev, was that that's their big thing. They're going to somehow find a way to provide less slippage and overall better capital efficiency. So it's very interesting that Cardax is also aiming to do the same thing. So the extended automated market maker protocol. Cardax EAMM protocol aims to be an improved version of the existing AMM protocols. One of the problems of AMM is the relatively high barrier to entry. As an illustrative example, let's assume you're building a Cardano native token called Patience Token, and you want to create a market to be able to trade it against ADA. In order to create the pair ADA-PTT, you will have to provide both ADA and PTT tokens. Providing PTT is not a problem because you are the issuer and you can issue as many tokens as you want. A problem does occur when you have limited ADA, as this means you will end up with a small liquidity pool. Many small projects face this exact problem on Uniswap at the moment. The EAMM protocol aims to solve problems of this nature by providing pricing power to takers when new pairs are created. In this scenario, makers no longer have any control over the price, and the discovery mechanism relies solely on the takers. This is an option the protocol will give to people that create a new pair that don't want to put a large amount of capital. Ultimately, it is the new pair creator who decides if they want to take this option or not. The protocol will allow anyone to create a liquidity pool. Liquidity providers will be able to create a liquidity pool and or add liquidity to an existing pool. There will be a 0.35 fee for swapping tokens. 0.30% will be split by liquidity providers proportional to their contribution to liquidity reserves. The remaining 0.05 will go to Cardax's treasury. The protocol will distribute fees among liquidity providers and the Cardax treasury. Liquidity providers will be paid in Cardax utility token, CDX. A couple more things I want to talk about. So token economics investing. The Cardax team has agreed upon a vesting schedule that will release CDX governance tokens to the core team and advisors after 2 years. Alright, so the tokens allocated for the team, 20% and advisors 5%, are locked into a smart contract that releases the tokens after 2 years. So there will be a total of 1 billion CDX tokens in circulation. Alright, so that's quite interesting there. Now, what makes Cardax different to other DEXs? It is the 5 points that we talked about before, so I don't want to repeat myself, but that is their main point of difference. Now, some of the features that is worth talking about, you can add support for any Cardano native token, join liquidity pools to collect fees on ADA, liquidity sensitive automated pricing using their protocol, trade ADA for any Cardano native token, trade any Cardano native token for any Cardano native token in a single transaction, trade and transfer to a different address in a single transaction, and buy ADA or any Cardano native token from Yori wallet. Now, their roadmap, I'll go on their website to show you, and then it's got a bit of a conclusion. So a pretty simple white paper, but I think the project will speak for itself, okay? Now, here's the roadmap. We're in, obviously, Q3 of 2021. So front end and back end development. Q3 will also have smart contract deployment, of course, as we all know. And then the DEX is due to go live in Q3 to 4, but after watching their latest update, I think it'll be Q4. Now, something I want to talk about, okay? Now, they recently had a article on Cointelegraph. Now, one of the things I'm liking about Cardax, which you can see from their Telegram and the Discord, they provide weekly update videos on YouTube. They're private videos that they only send out to these groups that tell you what's going on. But I watched the most recent one. I watched the most recent couple, and they paid for this article to go on Cointelegraph because they're starting their marketing, which is really good. And I think an article like this decentralized exchange has plans to become the Uniswap of the Cardano ecosystem. That's a pretty big deal. You know, attention will be drawn to that because people think, oh wow, I miss Uniswap, I don't want to miss this one. So I definitely like that they're doing that. And again, they're the number one DEX that comes up when you search Cardano Dex. Something else that they talked about in their latest update was that they are going to have a launch of late October at this stage. Now that will depend on their audit, and if they don't get audited, or if for whatever reason the audit doesn't go well, it will definitely not launch. But right now it will be late October for the platform to officially launch. However, they are having a public sale that starts this week. Like I said, today it is the 5th of September, so it will be starting at some point this week, okay? Now, you will need KYC. You will need KYC for this sale. It's not a pre-sale, it's a public sale. But yes, you will need KYC. There'll be a landing page, there'll be information and all that sort of stuff. So I will leave a link in my bio where you can sign up to get an exact date and time of when the public sale starts. Now, we don't know what the pricing will be. They haven't announced anything like that, but I will have a link and you can sign up, put your email address in there, and you will get the updates. Now, here I just want to show you that they won the Project Catalyst, okay? Something else they announced on their update is that they have another person joining the team who is also a Plutus Pioneers Program graduate, okay? So, again, it just builds my confidence in the backend team and in the dev team. All right. And there is some key partnerships in discussions, so look out for that. I'll do an update video once those start getting announced. Now the link is here. I will leave this link for the sale in my bio. As I said, I definitely recommend following these guys on Telegram because they put all their announcements on there, and they're pretty active on Discord with 11,000 members. And I'll just show you this video quickly, guys, and it's potentially a little sneak peek of what the platform will look like, okay? So you can sort of see it here. Now, I think this is what it will look like. So just wanted to show you guys that just in case you were wondering. So guys, what are your thoughts on Cardax? Is this one that you're watching? Is this one that you'll invest in? What are your thoughts? I'd love to hear it. In the meantime, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and as always, before I forget, my price prediction for Cardax, I don't know what the launch price will be for the public sale. So I'm definitely going to look at that before making another price prediction. But for right now, I think these projects are an easy 3 to 4x. An easy 3 to 4x, because look at what ADEX has done, and ADEX hasn't really done anything yet. I mean, I bought it at under 50 cents and now it's peaking at about over $2. That's a 3x, and the platform hasn't even launched yet. So I think these projects all have a lot of potential, and that's why I'm talking about them on the channel. Let me know your thoughts, and as always, watch this space.